Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Light back at it with another YouTube video, and in today's video we're going to be doing another video here on the channel. It's going to be basically talking about probably one of the worst wronged Marvel characters ever in the MCU. He's tied for first, kind of. He's technically maybe second, I would rank him, and that's going to be Hulk. Well, actually, technically, superhero wise, that's what I'm gonna say. And yeah, again, it's gonna be Hulk. Now, I think I'm gonna do an ongoing, maybe a little series-ish, basically talking about the characters the MCU is basically wronged, and the fact that they're not very comic accurate. They kind of make a joke out of them, whatnot. So that's what I'm thinking I'm gonna do from now on, or for a few videos. I already got one more video after this lined up of another character, and I can also think of a few other characters as well too that I can think of. So I'm gonna definitely roll out with some of these videos. But anyways, let's get into it. So yeah, in today's case we got Hulk in the MCU. Now, if you're a Hulk fan, you're definitely agreeing with what I'm about to say. I feel like Hulk was super wronged. He is very underrated in the sense. I think he's like one of the most underrated characters in all of the MCU, basically. Let's just start off. I understand comic accuracies and everything. I understand that. But at the same time, what they did to some of these characters, it has nothing to do. It technically does have stuff to do with comic accuracy. But I mean, comic accuracy isn't the half of it. They just they completely just shit on the character, basically. And it's not too good, honestly. But anyways, yeah, let's get into this. So yeah, also a quick disclaimer, I'm not talking about Edward Norton Hulk, I'm talking about Mark Ruffalo Hulk here. If that wasn't apparent already, it's basically, I'm just talking about Mark Ruffalo Hulk here. So yeah, let's get into it. So yeah, Hulk in the comics, if you know Hulk in the comics, you know he's like a very overpowered character. He's really good, really strong, super powerful. Like he's very good. If you're ever wondering exactly what his power is like, read World War Hulk. It's really good. Or there's even a movie about it too, so you can definitely watch that if you don't want to read the comic, which is totally okay and everything. But definitely read that. If you're talking about media, I might start doing this as recommending media to watch for certain characters and stuff like that in these videos, just in case you don't want to read the comics or something, because I understand some people just don't want to read that. They like to stick to more like the media and whatnot, or they just don't have enough time or whatnot. So I understand that, so I'll try and recommend some media to watch. Yeah, again with watch World War Hulk, that's another good one. Another really good kind of representation in sense is Earth's Mightiest Heroes. That's pretty good for what it was. In terms of that, all those characters in that are pretty much very similar to the comics. So I mean, if you've watched that, then you'll definitely understand a little bit more and stuff like that. So yeah, there's that. And also, if you really want to, the skill level of Hulk in Incredible Hulk is actually pretty good and pretty accurate, honestly. I mean, he was a pretty cool character in that. I must say he was really interesting in that. I gotta say Hulk was pretty powerful and stuff like that. So that was one thing I did like and everything. And also it didn't make a complete joke out of him or something. So, yeah. First of all, let's talk about where he goes wrong in the MCU. Now, straight off the bat, actually, he wasn't always a bad character. He's not even a bad character. He wasn't always wronged like this. In Avengers 1, or Avengers Assemble, as some people refer to it as well, it definitely, his Hulk was brand new and everything. And I remember personally when I was a child, I was I was old enough where I remember it and everything. This was I was maybe, I don't know my exact age at the time, but I was old enough to remember that. This is the point being. I remember going to the movie theaters and basically watching the Avengers, and I was looking at Hulk and I noticed it was a bit different, and then I realized he's recasted basically. And I was like, this is kind of curious. I'm curious to see what this is kind of like. And then again, I continued watching and everything, and I was just like, yeah, this Hulk is definitely interesting, very on par, really cool. He was like beating up everybody. He wasn't a complete joke or nothing, so that was pretty good. But also another thing I really realized too is Hulk. I know Hulk isn't essentially, it's not supposed to scare people or something like that, but I realized this. I don't know if it's just Mark Ruffalo, but Hulk seems very much less intimidating in the MCU version, especially when he's in Hulk form. He looks a lot like Mark Ruffalo. It's just because of CGI and stuff like that, so I understand why they did that. But I mean, for the most part, like for example, he looks very much more less intimidating and everything. Uh, so again, there's something with that there. Uh, and that's kind of step one of kind of ruining it a little bit of his character there. That's something I liked about Incredible Hulk as well. Is the character looks very intimidating, very like you don't screw with him basically. And in this, he kind of is like a joke a little bit. And then fast forward a little bit, we go to Age of Ultron, which is his next appearance, and then he proceeds to be a little bit more of a joke, honestly. But he's still remaining a little serious at times, and it's just like okay. But then you got a lot of joke from him, a lot like uh, I don't know if it was meant to be taken as a joke or not, but I personally thought it was a bit of a joke. Is that whole Natasha lullaby and stuff that kind of just made him a little bit stupid, but I understand that, so it's not a complete joke or anything. So I would say Age of Ultron, he was pretty serious-ish. It's just that's when it started to dip on his character power. For example, like he started sucking a little bit more. Honestly, I can't even lie. Uh, they made him seem as if like he was like dependent on like Natasha for everything. That's just the way I perceive it. I mean, other people might perceive it in different ways. That's just my personal opinion on that topic. But I mean, yeah, he was already in Age of Ultron. So I don't believe it wasn't really Josh Whedon that really wronged him in terms of that. But I mean, he also had a part to play in all this too. Again, writing wise and stuff like that. And then we skip to his next appearance, which comes in Thor Ragnarok. Now, this absolutely takes a massive dump on his character. I can't even lie. Like, they make it seem like he's just a big joke. I don't know. I mean, I like Thor Ragnarok. It's one of my favorite MCU movies. But the thing I find very critical of it is the fact that it makes Taika Waititi makes Hulk a total like joke. I personally am not a huge fan of that. Just seeing as though I guess it was using more of Mark Ruffalo's like comedy skills and whatnot, and that's all right. But I mean, they completely made him a joke in this. Like he was just such a laughable character. You felt no intimidation from him at all. You completely like his power buff was all the way down. Like he was getting beat up and everything. It wasn't. It just felt like a little bit strange seeing that. Uh, and he was completely powerful, power bumped and stuff like that. So that's one thing as well. I guess Thor Ragnarok was more of the turning point for downward spiral. And then we fast forward to Infinity War, and Hulk didn't even really appear. And what he did, he was just getting his butt kicked basically, and it just kind of sucked in that opinion. I kind of felt for those Hulk fans. That were literally just watching and they want to see one of their favorite character come up and just like be the Avenger we wanted him to be and everything. And then you just see he doesn't show up at all, and Bruce Banner's like a total joke. Uh, like he wasn't serious one bit. He was just a joke. So then another dump on his character. Now in the comics, at all times, I remember one. I think maybe he's done it like a few times. That's about it. But I don't. I remember strictly that Hulk was never really a funny character. He never really made you laugh or nothing. So that was one thing. He was always a serious toned character, similar to like Captain America and everything like that. He's a more serious tone character, never really joked around and stuff like that. He's a very, very much serious tone character in a sense. I mean, you do have a few laughs here and there, but that's about it. Like, he wasn't like this much of a joke in the comics and everything. So that's another thing. Again, power buffed all the way down in that movie. And then come Endgame, and we see Hulk again. And this time he is Professor Hulk, which, in my personal opinion, was a little bit too early to be getting Professor Hulk. I would expect it maybe in She-Hulk or something. Maybe he would turn like that or something like that. And then, yeah, he turned into Professor Hulk. Again, more of a joke. Power buffed again. Uh, and this is just kind of terrible. I mean, even in Infinity War, I forgot to leave this thing. When he's getting his butt kicked by Thanos, that should have never happened. I think Hulk should have at least standed at least a lot of chance. There's no question Thanos is going to beat Hulk. I mean, that's going to be kind of obvious. But I mean, Thanos shouldn't have beaten Hulk that easy. Like, that was just way too easy. And I feel like that was kind of stupidly put. But I mean, that comes to the end of like what last we see of Hulk. I believe he's supposed to be in She-Hulk, and we know that's going to probably happen. I'm not too sure if he's in any of the other MCU projects coming up. So that's one thing. Again, I think there's still some redemption for Mark Ruffalo's Hulk. I still think that in terms of like comic accuracy and everything. I still think maybe in like I still want to see maybe a solo Hulk movie, even though it kind of would feel a little bit out of place. But at the same time, I kind of want to see one. So like at the same time, it's just like, yeah, I kind of want to see one still. So yeah, I want to still see one. I mean, I don't despise Hulk or anything like that. I just feel like the MCU kind of wronged him. But I mean, in terms of like character wise, I do think he has some redeemable stuff and everything. But again, too much just dumping on the character and everything. It just kind of sucked in some ways. But I mean, in terms of character analysis, easy. He gets like an easy 6 out of 10. He's not the greatest or anything. Uh, but anyways, he's still interesting and stuff like that. But anyways, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you guys next video. Peace.